All right, guys, muscular development, April 1971. You got Casey Viator on the cover, and muscular development would have the York Barbell advertisements on the back. And then here is finally the Hercules advertisement I was talking about. Look at that drawing. I mean, 555-pound barbell. Back then, anybody who could lift over 500 pounds was certainly considered a Hercules. And just the way that Bob Hoffman would have these drawings, I wonder who drew them, but also his advertisements really kind of pulled you into this story that you would be a Hercules, you would be a He-Man. And there was a mystique about it because you had to wait for the magazine to show up. You had to read about what your favorite bodybuilder, powerlifter, weightlifter would do. And here's the Hercules cable sets. I don't want this magazine falling apart. This magazine is older than I am. I mean, it's just crazy how old it is. But look at what, just look at how these photos look. You got John Grimmick curling. So you said to yourself, man, if I get that easy curl bar, I will look like that. And of course, you probably did 10 sets of curls. You probably did 100 curls every day. And I often tell athletes, hey guys, how many pull-ups and push-ups have you done today? Have you done 100 push-ups today? And a lot of people say, that's not good. You got to recover. I see some athletes that are doing that, and they're building physiques. And I tell them, hey man, that's like what the inmates are doing, you know, hundreds of pull-ups and push-ups a day. And that's why they get jacked. These are the famous photos of Casey Viator as he's training for, I think, the Mr. America, and he was 19 years old. So, real impressive. You see him doing barbell curls. I'm not sure if that's 135. Nope, it's 225 pounds. That's what we call the power cheat curl. You could see he's leaning back, but when you lean back like that, you do a slow eccentric and you build big arms. But every 10 pages, we have got York advertisements. And so, you know, from a business standpoint, what's interesting is sometimes people reach out to me to do something in the gym, and they show up once, and I tell them, man, like, look at this magazine. You've got to read it. You've got to go through this thing, and every 5 pages is a York Barbell advertisement. And check this out. Here's another York Barbell advertisement. I think I've already shown you 5 ads in this magazine. And so I've done a video on this. You guys could look it up. It's called Squats and Milk. And I got to tell you, again, this is from before I was born. I'm almost 50. This is 1971. A lot of athletes today could use more squats and more milk. And it's really cool to see how strong people were with the most primitive equipment. No fancy bench right there, but that guy is pretty dang strong. Benching 450 pounds. He weighs 212, and he's benching 450 at the YMCA. YMCA used to be like the place that powerlifters and bodybuilders would train at. And then again, first thing you open up, first page, York Barbell. Last page, York Barbell. And if you see this York Barbell advertisement, you see that neck harness? I've got it here. It was sent to me as a gift. Somebody purchased this from a, let me show you how. There it is. Sent to me as a gift. A guy purchased this from an older gentleman who purchased all that York equipment, and he was a corrections officer in Wisconsin. And so, much older than me, probably in his late 70s, the equipment, I saw photos of it, was pristine. I don't know if Wisconsin just doesn't have the humidity, but it was in his garage, maybe a detached garage. But I've got the neck harness. It's pretty stiff. It's not like the most comfortable thing, but a lot of people did it. And I remember the story behind the corrections officer was that he got the job and the inmates were bigger than him. So he said, I better start strength training. And what did he do? Got himself a York barbell set.